Okay, going to pick up where I left off the last time. So we're moving forward with the stickers and other bits and pieces, starting to put the car together. So again, if you're enjoying the content, stick a thumbs up, give me some comments, give me some questions, and if you haven't already subscribed, consider subscribing. It's free and it'll bring up any other videos, and I'm doing various other projects as well. So hope you enjoy, and we'll move on with the video. Just for interest, I'm also going to show you this. So I had a water leak which was coming from here, which is a plastic thermostat housing, just in case you have any Ecotech engines or anything like that. Just wait on the noise. And also there was a bolt missing off this pipe here, so this is where the water was originating from, and I've now removed that and actually purchased a new thermostat housing, which you can see the two of them together. They've actually designed it differently. But I also noticed the gasket here. You can see where it's pink in the bottom, it's been leaking. And it was only hand tight as well, so I don't know who done it or replaced it. Also the oil filter cap was pretty loose, or the filter housing. So that's a more substantial gasket and a more substantial part. So I'm going to stick that on and see if that cures it. It was a minor leak when I was driving, but it was dripping on the exhaust and you could notice it. So just something to keep an eye on. I believe this is a common problem with Vauxhall Astras and anything with Ecotech engines. So 4 10mm bolts, I've done it in about 20 minutes there, so it's definitely something you can do. And that is your thermostat then, which opens whenever it gets to a certain temperature, lets the water circulate around the car. And it says on that 105 degrees there, you can just about make it out. So it looks a lot better, although I thought this was fresher. It's really not. So I'm going to replace it now, and we'll see if that sorts things out. Just to check back in, so I have fitted the rear spoiler on the bottom there. Let's see if I can zoom in. You get 2 wee gaps at the side, and then I actually have fitted my parking sensors on there, which I have to touch up with a bit of black just. So I'm also going to put a square number plate holder with a light on it there, which will give me the light for the number plate light, and then I'll have to attach a couple of fog lights or a fog light underneath anyway. But yeah, we're getting there. All the wee small jobs now I've been doing underneath, and I'll show you underneath when I finish, doing a bit of body shooting and sealing things up. So now it's going to be all the little things to get sorted. Right, so this is the car now. We're just about to start because today is sticker day. So I'm going to give it a bit of, it's covered in dust. We're going to get it wiped down, and we'll probably start with the smaller ones around the bumper, and then I'll film sort of putting these on. I'm going to do the door ones first because I need to know what space I have for the 46. So we'll keep the bigger stickers towards the end, but pretty much hopefully I've got 95-ish, 98% of the stickers that I need. So it should fairly change the car tonight. So we'll put it on a bit of a time lapse here in a second. I'll do the bumper, just there's a Heinz to go on there and a Die Hard sticker, and then we'll take a look at them, and then we'll start applying them. They're on singles, they're all single stickers, so it's not the big sheet. So I'll show you them when they're laid out, and then we'll start working through them. I've got my father assistant to give me a hand. We'll end it out tonight as well, so we'll see how we get on. So that is the front stickers. Like I say, the Moroso is actually a different size, but it works for the scale on this car. I'm going to include a picture of the original now. So you can see there's a slight difference in the way my bumper is, but we're gonna be happy enough with that. And then moving towards the back with the individual stickers. We had them laid out in pairs, and I've actually done the pattern that's going to be on the door here. Now there's a couple missing here because they're on a bigger sheet, and I'm going to leave a gap for one. So that's pretty much what we're going to stick on now in that order. So everything from here down is going to be on the driver's door, and I'll include a picture of that now. So we'll set it up in a bit of a lapse. It'll not be that exciting, but you should see them going on fairly quick, definitely quicker than what it's going to take me putting them on. So I'll let you see that, and then we'll take a look at the finished article. Okay, then off we go with the stickers. So working through the back section where we laid them all out, I've got my dad with a picture of the car that we're using for a reference, and he's in the background basically telling me where the stickers are going, what order they're going in, and then I'm just working through them on the door. You can just see him reaching across with the phone showing me in the distance there. So the stickers, I'm not using any water or anything for these stickers because they're only small. They're just quickly peeling them and sticking them on, and there's sort of no worries with air bubbles. Then the bigger stickers is where you need to start thinking about putting on the liquid or soapy solution to do it. The only other trick I would say to you when you're doing these stickers is there's a backing on them, so you can't really see it in the pictures, but I am using two bits of masking tape, and you push them together, one on each side, and then as you pull them apart it splits the sticker and helps it peel for you, rather than try to have to get a blade or a nail down the back of it or something and scrape it out. So anyway, did the rest of the stickers there. Now moving forward onto the big 46s. So these, what I did is actually cut them, I've split them, and I wanted to go around the door handle. I didn't want to mess the sticker up by having to try and go over the door handle and make it look, it just would have been a lot of hassle, and it would have ruined the graphics. So I've laid them out in such a way where I can just get them around the door handle. And again, I've sprayed a bit of the soapy solution on this, so just a wee bit of light baby shampoo, and then I'm squeegeeing it out with the squeegee, squeegeeing all the bubbles out, and working through the four as well, same panel, and just doing it as close as I can get it to the handle, with also not with stretching the graphic. So yeah, not too bad a job, and fairly handy when you're using the solution on the bigger panels. Doesn't take very long, and then just a heat gun at the end around the edges to clean it all up. Okay, so update. Bumper done, wing done. Got these stickers now. These stickers are a bit smaller than the original ones, but I've sort of planned that because the car's a different scale. And there's a couple of gaps here where I've missed a couple that I'm still waiting to get. I actually have to bring them in from America because some of them are vintage stickers. And then the 46, we've managed to split round the handle and over the gap of the door, which actually closes up the door. So you should have seen that in the hyperlapse, just putting it on. And then obviously the back ones here, the Hendrix. Again, there's one missing out of the centre there. I think I'm only actually missing 3 or 4 types of sticker, which is like 2 stickers each, which I have in, which I've located anyway. So I think what we'll do next is, well, we've the essential cold trickle to go on, and we'll maybe do a city. We'll maybe work on getting one side finished here first and take a look at the whole side finished, and then it'll be mirroring. So the kit is all bits, the numbers come separately. They're actually brilliant because these are a black background, and this bit here is hollow, as you can see, so it allows the colour to shine through. It also means it's far easier to put on. It really took 15-20 minutes to stick that on, so they're the hardest stickers we're flying. And then I have obviously Chevrolets. I have to cut these out. We'll do the cold trickle, I think, next, and then cruises for the front bumper. A couple of stickers are adapted. They're not the exact same, but they'll do for now. And then obviously for my YouTube channel, stickers as well. So I'm not gonna lapse this bit. We'll stick the city sticker on, and I'll probably film the cold trickle sticker going on for Big James, and then we'll look back at the side a wee minute. So this is going to be the before with the wheels. I'm going to try some different wheel spacers here. I'm going to show you the after very shortly now. I'll get them bolted on. I'll show you what I'm sticking onto it as well. Okay, so these are hub-centric wheel spacers in the box here. And just to show you here, I've fitted one. So they fit on over your standard studs. They're exact, so the centre is exact and it brings it all out. And you bolt these on with the bolts, and then you bolt your wheels to these here, which extends it by 20 mil. So that's what the other ones that did, the smaller ones, the threads weren't long enough. So people don't like using these, they say it puts strain on wheel bearings, etc. But for what I'm doing with it, it'll be fine. People use them for off-roading and there's never any problems. So let's see what they look like when we get it back down on the ground. Okay, so best way I can probably show you is just, again, coming on the side here. And actually the camera doesn't even really show how much. Compared to, can't see any wheels at all down there, so yeah, they've done what they're supposed to do. I've also a set of lowering springs to put in there as well, because the springs are pretty poor in it, as just rusty as normally would, so there's no point in putting standard ones in. I'll drop it a wee bit as well. So quick little update, went ahead and got some black underbody sealant aerosol and basically blacked off inside here, taped it all off and all the edges, and I've done all the black around there, all the black around the tailgate, all the black around the top of the boot lid, and then obviously when I start to sheet this, then it'll be covered. So that's an underbody coating, so it's usually strong enough for wearing the outside of the car, so it'll be fine on the inside. As you can see, it starts to darken everything down and hide everything that was obvious as to what we've done and extended it, although that will be covered. So I'm going to do a bit more at this and we'll start making some covers. Also get in behind the back panel. It's actually hard to show you now because of the light. So I'm going to go ahead and get this all cleaned off, get this rail done, and basically that's starting to remove all the blue from the car now that is visible. Have to do in around the door edges as well, but I'm going to do it with aerosol black or 2-pack black. I haven't decided yet, so we'll get a look at that. So yeah, just another wee update. Like I say, starting to do all the finishing touches now. So okay, so everybody's gone for the day. I get the workshop to myself again, so I'm going to show you another wee project. Basically it's on this window. Because I have obviously painted this over the perspex, it's sort of, the window doesn't really have like depth. It doesn't look as if it is a frame sort of thing. So I've already got some holes here, I've already worked at that, and what I've done is I've cut out bits of aluminium here. It was just a straight piece of aluminium, and I've shaped certain bits to a certain shape, and I'm going to show you what that looks like on the other side, which is going to be awkward to see from a distance, or sorry, being too close even. So I've made a frame out of this metal and I've framed the window, and I'm going to actually pop rivet it in, and then this is going to be painted black, and it's probably one of them things I'll need to show you at the end, and I'll show you a before and after of how it looks, because it probably doesn't really look any different either, but it's actually quite a bit of depth, as I say, and it makes it look more like a window that has been screwed in. It makes it look more authentic. You know, the NASCAR windows and the particular Days of Thunder had a vent in here as well, which I'm not going to do just to keep the car watertight, but they were a smaller window, so that it was always my plan. So I'll go ahead, I need to edge prime these are aluminium, so I've got them cut now the same on both sides. I'm going to drill them in, put a few rivets, I think, riveted on, and I'm going to paint them black and stick them back on. So that's all I'm going to show you now of it. That is the window rubber that was in the existing door, so remember this is the perspex over the door. So we'll paint it up just to show you what it looks like now, and I shall put the rivets in, and then we'll take a look at it finished, and it'll probably look just sort of more standard, like I haven't done anything, but it's been a couple of hours just messing about with that. So let's take a look at it whenever it's painted. I'm not going to show you, basically just going to give it a Scotch Brite down, a wee spray of etch primer, and a wee spray of probably matte or gloss black spray, and then drill it in with rivets. So as I say, we'll take a wee look at it whenever it's all on and finished. So here we go. When the frame in, again it's a wee bit close, but you can get the idea. That's it painted black, and then it's just riveted into place. So let me go back a wee touch here. So yeah, from a distance probably doesn't look, especially on the camera, doesn't look like it's that much, but as I said, it sits proud and now sort of makes the window look like it is a screwed in window. So I'm pretty happy with it. And that's another wee touch that I have finished. So we'll move on to something else now. Start getting possibly some of the metal work done underneath. Get it up in the ramp here. Okay, wheels and tires again. I may have already showed this, but I'll do it again just in case anybody didn't see the video, or in case I didn't actually record it. So this way everybody wins. So Goodyear logos on the tires. These are cheaper tires, and there's no way I'm putting Goodyear racing slick tires on, and actually that's how they were painted in the movie. They're actually done with a stencil. So this stencil is the biggest I can get. It's 20 inch and it just sticks to the tire here around the trim, and then you just peel it back. If I can get it here, bear with me, need another hand. Okay, let's try this. So you peel it back and it leaves the cutout for the letter, and it also leaves the center in the zeros, etc. Zeros, the O's, can nearly speak. As you can see there. Then it's just a matter of taping up around the outsides of this, and then at the end we get a wee Stanley blade and hook them bits out. So doing these two tires and the other tires, excuse the mess, I'm in the process of trying to tidy up a lot of jobs. So that's it now on the tire. So as you can see, it's very effective for all it is. A bit of primer and then a bit of brake cleaner on it first to clean the tire, and then the wee logo just goes on. So I'll take a picture of it obviously outside whenever it's whenever we've got the whole side profile. And then once obviously the lowering springs go in as well, it's going to bring it down. I managed to get this trim on the side and the exhaust as well. So yeah, enough talking. We shall get this done, and then get the car outside, get it cleaned and get a picture of it. So car back up in the ramp, and today we're going to do the lowering spring. So I've taken a picture of the car just sitting before, which I'm going to show you now, the front of it. And I'm going to show you what it looks like afterwards. So we're going to fit nice red springs, hopefully. And these ones here were a bit grubby anyway, starting to get a bit, especially over here, a bit corroded and things. So yeah, we're going to get them out and get these replaced. Should be quite straightforward, I think. We'll just get these clamped and drop the bolt off the bottom of the strut here. Lower that wheel and we'll do one at a time. So I'm not expecting any problems with the back, and then we'll have a look at the front in a minute. Okay, so that took me not even 5 minutes. So 22mm socket, big bar, loosen the bolt off, took the stress out of it, or strain, sorry, out of it with the transmission jack. Had to put the straight bar, loosen it off, and then just Milwaukee gun, buzzed it off. Pull the shock down, pop a spring out, pop a spring in, and then it'll just be seated right again now whenever I set it on. So very, very easy for that. So hopefully this one comes out just as easy, and then that's the back done already. And like I said, 5 minutes just. So interestingly enough, two rear springs out, and as you can see, they're not broke, but they certainly aren't the same. Two different heights, so as well we're changing anyway. A lot smarter looking, and we'll see what the height difference is when we get it down on the ground. Hopefully you can hear me because there's a bit going on, but progress on the front. So disconnected the drop link. That was 18 mil olive bolts here. Disconnect the drop link. Disconnect the 2 bolts through the, I'm looking at them, through the hub here, and then big nut on top was a 25, I think. Yeah, sorry, big nut on top was a 24, so take the big nut off. Needed to clamp the strut. So this is a strut here. Put a torque bit in the top, and then the big nut comes off the top. And now we've got the spring compressors here, which we're going to close up with the bulge gun. Squeeze the spring, and then again loosen that top nut, take that out, put the new spring in. So pretty straightforward. This is probably like an hour type job if you were carrying and you didn't have people around you. So we'll carry on, see how we get on. Okay, gonna leave it there for today, and hope you enjoyed the video. Again, if you liked it, thumbs up for me. Any comments, questions, please stick something down the bottom and I'll come back to you and help you out with any information. And stay tuned for the next video here, which will be out very, very shortly. Thanks for watching now. Cheers, bye.